Hey, how's it going? My name's Steven. Me and my buddies have this team. I'm the Yubel player in it. So deck profile for Yubel. I like to call it version 2.0 because it has a little sneak peek in here. But we went to a tournament. Unfortunately, I did tie quite a few times or draw, and I lost one. But for obviously the main cards, you're running two spirits, one Yubel, one terror. Okay. Obviously, you're running the three lotus. We got two of the graves in here. We're doing three beckoning beasts. I like the ratio because you definitely want to go into the spell card to this one. So it helps you search it out, especially with certain plays. You definitely want to get it so you could kind of optimize your plays with it. It helps you extend a little more if you have to into like the bigger stuff. Then obviously the one unchained creature in the main deck, and then we're definitely running the nightmare thrones with the to search for the field, along with two pains. I like this ratio a little bit. Again, there's something extra I added in the deck that not a lot of people probably be running now. Then the one chain trap card, and of course, call bios and the tactics, the one for the spells. Now we are doing the Fiendsmith build, so you don't really need three Fiendsmith anymore. She kind of like gets the game going easily. Um, Even if you draw into it, you could always pitch it, use it to get tactics, get a Larry on board. Solid play. Like I said, tactics, Larry. Now for the new modification of the deck, uh, I'm not completely done with. I'm still missing a few, but I did actually pull this combo off. Um, Black Witch. I know people are like, why would you put that in Yubel? Or I mean, yeah, Yubel. Then I only have one of. This is gonna go to two. This is gonna be two. Three witches. No, I'm keeping this at one. Three witches. Two of these, and then I got two of these. I might put this a one. Just depends. But with this combo, it's gonna allow you to go into Azamina pretty easily, and then it helps you set up so that way, literally, you just go boom, grab the card, go with this, get this, easy setup, Azamina, and now you already got your Omni Negate for Nib or whatever other setup they want to try to pull on you. But it does clear things and it helps a lot quicker. And for my hand traps, one draw for right now, three ashes, three imperms. The only reason I'm like running such a short amount of hand traps is because Ubel is very consistent when it comes to setting up a board that could demolish and get around things or just completely omni negate lock your opponent down. And just depends on the situations. But like honestly, if you're going up against Snake Eyes, you're not gonna freaking ash that deck into nothing. There's always something. So it's better to learn how to play around it and get around it than compared to rely on those hand traps all the time. And then for this, obviously for the Fiendsmith, you have Requiem, Sequence, Moon, just in case if you can't get into a Light Fiend. That's a definitely go to. Then staple, you got your SP Knight or Little Knight. Freaking that literally saves you in every single situation. As for the Unchained, you got a Yama and Rage. And I think it's easy to say, use Rage, go into SP, help clear the board. The one consistency that you have to have in this deck is when you go out of gas and you both your opponent and you are out of gas. You need something to get past that. And I found out that the hard way. Access Code Talker, you have to have something that's going to be able to take on the field and still be able to do a large amount of damage for the damage that you want to pull, especially when you run out of gas. So this literally is your last option. There's no reason you should go into this early. You want to save it just because if you have three U bells out, you attack a 2000 hitter, and then you just go right into the next part of this, your XYZ, summon, the last 2000 game. So obviously I'm running one. Of course, the one of Caesar, and you already know who that is. The staple of the deck, the two Phantoms. Um, Definitely great to run. Definitely must have. Maybe three if you're unlucky. And depending on the tournament style that you're playing at locals and stuff like that. But the majority of usage of it is pretty high, so you got to be a little choosy. And then obviously the one fusion for or my two fusions for Fiendsmith combo is Desiree and Eater. Obviously, if you're trying to go to Caesar, you're definitely going to here. I think once that witch combo actually takes off in this deck and more play testing, I might not have to use this as much, but it does help dump something that you need in your graveyard. Just worst case scenario if you want to go into a Phantom and you have nothing to do it. But obviously, the Omni Negate, way too freaking strong. And then the one card that I'm running that build is the new Azamina card. Pretty much the Omni Negate. You tribute it to pretty much negate anything on the board. I literally just from the start of the hand, I do the witch, boom, it's already out. And then I could go right into full Fiendsmith combo, pull this out, and then the last card. Let me switch this around. The last card, if you're going through like doing this build, you have to be really picky and choosy. And the last card that you put on field has to be Phantom. Has to be. Because you can literally end up with a board like this. And this is what I did at locals today. Um, the guy was just kind of like jaw dropped. He didn't really have much he could do. Um, but my board was pretty much this, just off of the engine. You literally have two negates, and let me just put it there so you can see it, because I did have it attached to him. You have two negates. You have one Omni negate here, primordial negate, Omni negate, and then you're taking a creature. And you already know once you take the creature, you immediately go for none other than SP. And that there explains why you run it. I mean, consistent wise, there is a lot of consistency with those cards. They're not dead cards. You're literally letting those cards go in your hand when you're like when you have to like discard. You could throw them away, use them as fodder. So for me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't really matter. Um, I've only bricked maybe once through playtesting, specifically with the witch in this deck. I think it's easy to work around a brick. It's not that hard. Yes, you got to work for it, but it is possible. Certain bricks, you're just not that lucky. But as you can see with the board set up like this, and the last thing you summon is this guy, I mean, your opponent literally either has to scoop or they really have to know how to play their deck well enough to be able to get all this off and still have some kind of hand presence, even if they're down to like one. Um, Other than that, this is like the new version of Yubel that I'm playing with. I think it's gonna definitely go into YCS. I think if I'm not mistaken, I might change a few cards in the deck just to fit some hand traps. That's worst case scenario, so that way I could draw my opponent and allow myself to extend a little bit more on the second turn. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty solid deck. This is my version of Yubel. I looked at a lot of decks. I watched a lot of videos. I seen someone sit there and want to bring this in, so I went from that. And literally, this is a 41 card Yubel deck, and I'm playing it tight. I see everyone wanting to play 45, things like that, of that nature. I think it's a little too much just for my cup of tea. I like consistencies. I like being able to get the cards that I need. I think overflooding your deck is useless sometimes. Even if you could do it, sure, but there's only one thing you want to do: bring out your combo, build a board, and take out your opponent. But yeah, and this is my deck profile of Yubel Fiendsmith slash Black Witch. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.